These my dollars make it hurt.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here. It's been a few days, been a few moments, but I'm back. What's going on, everybody? Welcome once again to the one and the only. This is the Big Time Show that is being seen and heard live as we speak right now on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitch, and on X, also known as Twitter. What is going on today on this Saturday? It's a little bit after 3 o'clock, which means, of course, that it's time for the show. Here I am again. Like to tell you guys, I've been on a small little vacation. That's the reason I was not with you this entire week. I was on my regular day, which of course is Monday, was not with you. And then of course, I was not with West Coast and the brothers. I was out this week, so I deserve a little break, you know. Me and my family took a little trip, but we're back. And we are back in regular routine. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Hope you guys have enjoyed the show today with right before me about 30 minutes ago. West Coast and Henny and Landlord. Another fine show with the brothers there. And here we are talking today. Listen, on today, as you come in or you're watching this replay, you can hit the stars button if you're on Facebook. And if you're on YouTube, hey, Greg, I see you, brother. What's going on? If you're on YouTube, you can hit that like button, but we just found out that there's another way that you can do the likes. If you don't mind, just to make sure, because I heard about it and I did it on their show. I'm just trying to make sure it's available on mine. If you're on YouTube, double tap that screen for me and see if you see a thumbs up or something like that. That can make sure that our stuff comes on like that. I am presently trying to make sure all my stuff is right. I'm sharing, of course. Hope you guys would do the same. I'm sorry. As we attempt to get this thing started in just a second. And I'm doing that now. And I'm on. Got that straight. Hope you guys have had a fun Saturday so far. We're here. Oh, hey, big dog. I never seen you before, never heard of you. But I'm glad you popped in on me. Listen, I'll answer your question. How long did it take you to get over the Packers beat down in the playoffs last fall? Big dog, I'm still not over it. Hope that answers your question. Uh, Still scratching my head on what happened during that game. If you probably weren't with me, but I said it all year last year that with the Dallas Cowboys, there are only two ways that only one way they either win spectacularly or they lose spectacularly. In other words, last year we showed all of that. We blew people out, and then we got blowed out. So it was just a, it is that's the way we lost last year spectacularly. We lost in the playoffs spectacularly. It wasn't even close. It wasn't nothing to talk about. So, and considering the year that we had, it's just still shocking. Considering that the defense was way better than what we showed, it's just a head scratcher. So, I'm still not over it, but hey, got to move on. No more. Can't lay in that too much. Training camp on the way. Some teams' training camps open up today, so the new year has already been here, but we're here now. So last year was last year. Now we're here at this point this year. What's going on, Mr. Burns? I see you, sir. What's going on? Appreciate you. For all of you guys, just do me a favor real quick. I don't know. I see Big Dog, you are on YouTube. Do me a favor just to see, because I need to know this. Do me a favor if you don't mind, sir. I need you to, if you're watching from your phone, I need you to double tap your screen. If you're on YouTube, double tap your screen just so I can see if what I heard works. Did you just see a thumbs up? If just double tap your screen if you're watching from YouTube on your phone, double tap it. Just let me know if there's a thumbs up or whatever that came up on it. Let me know real quick. If you're on Facebook, I just need to know which one it is. It did work for you. Okay, Mr. Avery, I appreciate you. So, ladies and gentlemen, thumbs up. Okay, there it is. All right, appreciate y'all. Listen, that just in case you did not know, that is the new way on YouTube that you can send the likes when you ever hear the content creators ask for it. Usually you would have that heart button there and you have to hit that heart and then it gives you about 4 or 5 different options. You don't have to do that anymore. Just double tap the screen and y'all see some little graphic, a thumbs up graphic came up. That is the new feature on YouTube. So it's the same thing. So whenever y'all hear me ask y'all to hit that like button, just smash it. You'll be doing it twice. But if I ask for about 20 likes, that means you're going to have to double tap it, obviously, 40 times, which ain't going to take long at all. Appreciate you, Jay Bird. Not on phone, but the thumbs up was sent anyway. Okay, so you must be doing it on your laptop, Jay Bird. I think you must be doing it on your laptop or iPad. I don't know, but everybody that is watching by YouTube on the phone has that. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Got you. I got you. I figured that. Appreciate all of you guys are coming in. Eastside Harold, I see you in the building. What's going on? Speaking to everybody. As I said before, I was not with you this week. I was on a little mini vacation with my family. That's why I haven't been on all this week with West Coast and all the other brothers and and I was not on my regular Monday night. I will be with you guys this Monday night because I'm back. But I'm back here today, and so here we are. Now, this is Freestyle Saturday. So that means I want you guys to control or executive produce the show. I want you guys to do that. There's not a lot in Cowboy land. I was able to kind of peek things out a little bit while I was gone, other than Dak dancing. You see what I'm saying? Y'all make a big deal out of that. Other than Dak dancing at Tyron Smith's wedding, other than him showing he can dance a little bit, that's really the only news, really worth talking about. But Dak Prescott can't breathe too loud, or it's national news. So I saw a whole lot of yip yap about Dak dancing. I mean, come on, y'all. And since I got some haters in here, I already know some of y'all were some of the main ones contributing to the conversation about him. Listen to this one more time. Dancing. Okay. I already know y'all did. I know you did. And those that are watching this replay, I know you did. Matter of fact, it's some Cowboy fans that had a real problem with my guy just dancing, relaxing. His brother got married. He just dancing, and folks just commenting, and just lost their mind, and getting mad at him because he got a chain on, getting mad because his suit looked real good, getting mad at him because it's unbelievable the scrutiny that this guy really has. Is there a more hated person in the league than Dak Prescott? I mean, somebody tell me who is. I mean, I got a name in mind, but I don't want to. I don't even want to ruin it. I just want to know. Let's start here with Freestyle. Is Dak Prescott? See, I ain't got to ask about the most scrutinized. I already know that. I know he the most scrutinized. What I want to know is, because see, there ain't no in-between ground. You either like him or you don't. Is Dak Prescott the most hated guy? Y'all type. I mean, based off of all the stuff you done heard, all the nitpick criticism, all of the not giving him credit for what he's done, I just want to know, is he the most hated quarterback? I mean, not quarterback. Is he one of the most hated players in the league? I think he is. I really do. To the point that the man just sitting there, somebody had the video out. They called Dak dancing to a nice little hip hop beat. The man happy for his friend Tyron Smith getting married of the Jets. His left tackle for all these years. And the man just started dancing. Everybody just go completely crazy. I'm just trying to figure out, is he the most hated in the league? Let's start there. That wasn't even in my notes. But let's just start there. Come on, y'all. I'm waiting. I need to know. Because he really is hated. He really is. I'm convinced of that. Man can't do nothing. I guess they want Dak to sit and watch game film 24/7. Man can't go to McDonald's. The man can't go to Wendy's. The man can't go to his mailbox. The man can't feed his dog. I mean, good Lord. Can we let the man breathe? Trust me. When training camp starts, he'll be ready to go. He'll be ready to go. Folks last week were talking about him wearing a boot. Got a couple of them in here now. Talking about him wearing a boot, but they ain't want to talk about and say that the man not in the boot no more. See what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, nobody want to talk about that. See, they want to just talk about he in a boot. He's in trouble. His ankle is tore up. He's in bad trouble. Nobody didn't want to talk about it, though. The same folks didn't want to talk about that he was out the boot before the week was out. And I ain't been in the since. I ain't heard nothing. There's a couple of people in here right now. I could point them out, but I ain't gonna do it. I'm just saying. I don't get it, y'all. I don't get it. But that was the big news of the week, y'all, that I remember. The second thing that I saw that it make me scratch my head is that I saw Stefon Gilmore working out on Instagram. I saw him doing some of his defensive back drills. You know, he's not going against anybody, but he's showing that he's in shape, showing that, you know, he still knows what he's doing, of course. And the amazing thing is that, of course, he's not signed to anybody. And I really believe in his case, it's just a matter of, you know, somebody's going to get injured. And it's going to be a cornerback somewhere. I mean, it just never fails. Hamstring pull, you know, God forbid, a torn ACL or Achilles or something. And no doubt in my mind, he'll probably be the first cornerback called. You know, and it's just at his age, you know, Stefon probably don't want to go through training camp anyway, to be honest with you. You know, he's ready to go. You know, he look like he game ready right now. And the reason why I say it's a head scratcher to me is because I don't understand why we haven't re-signed him just for insurance purposes only. And I understand we drafted a cornerback in the draft and all that, but look, when you got Trayvon Diggs coming off of ACL, when you got Jordan Lewis who predominantly stays hurt, when you also have all the other people who guys that don't really have a lot of playing time, and then the ones that have played, they really ain't showed you anything, like a Nashawn Wright, for instance. I don't understand why the Cowboys would not invest into Stefon Gilmore, who I don't believe will cost too much. Just for insurance purposes. We still don't know if Trayvon is going to be ready week one. I know what he's been saying. I understand that. I saw the video clips of him, you know, doing his drills, and he very well may be ready for week one. But we all know how this ACL thing goes. When a person comes off of ACL, usually, they're not quite themselves yet. And when you're playing the cornerback position, that's the wrong position for you not to be ready to go. So, you know, I don't know. I know that Trayvon would not be playing in the preseason. I know that I believe that he even will be limited in practice. For instance, we're supposed to be scrimmaging the Rams, if I'm not mistaken, in a joint scrimmage together, you know, in training camp. Trayvon Diggs ain't playing it. He ain't really about to go against Cooper Kupp and Puka. They ain't about to do that. That ain't about to happen. See what I'm saying? So week one will probably be really the first, you know, live bullets. And to me, I need some insurance. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I need some insurance at cornerback, and I ain't turning the keys over to no rookie first round draft. I mean, 4th, 5th round draft pick, and I'm not turning it over into the hands of Nashawn Wright. I already know what he brings. I know what he is, and I already know offense. If they see a Nashawn Wright out there, you know, and I love Eric Scott as well, but offensive coordinators are gonna go at these guys. They had to think a little bit. if Gilmore is there. See what I'm saying? I'd rather have Bland and Gilmore in my corners than having Bland and Nashawn Wright or Flannery, the rookie, or Eric Scott. You see, it just don't even sound right. You know what I'm saying? You know that the quarterbacks are going to target those guys until they show them something different. I'd rather have Gilmore there. Especially, we talking about a third. Jordan Lewis, man, come on now. I applaud the heart of my guy. I applaud the heart. I applaud what he does. I really do. But my man, if he makes it the whole, when the last time he played a whole year? It's been years on top of years. And I understand Jordan is a playmaking type cornerback, blitzes well, gets his hands on the ball and stuff. I understand that. But when you got two of your presumed top three cornerbacks there's question marks about their health, you better get some insurance. It just makes sense to me. And I don't understand why the Cowboys have not re-signed Stefon Gilmore. I don't get that. And you better, if you're going to do it, at least if it's on your head, you better do it, because I promise you, once somebody gets injured as a cornerback, whether it's first, second, or third, Stefon Gilmore is going to get the phone call. And he wants to play, and he wants another check, and he's going to get it from somewhere. There's nowhere in the world, all 30, it's 32 teams. That means that it's 64 starting cornerbacks. And I pray to God all of them stay healthy, but the odds of that happening is slim to none. And we all know that. So I saw that about Stefon Gilmore. And I, to be honest with you, forget the Cowboys, I'm shocked that nobody has signed Stefon Gilmore. I don't know, I'm serious. Hey, Con, man, I see you, brother. Appreciate you popping in. I don't, what am I wearing? Taylor Spartan. I'm wearing a Cowboy jersey. I got Michael Parsons on. That's what I got on with number 11. Sorry, my microphone blocking it. That's what I'm wearing. I'm a Cowboy fan. That's what I wear. Oh man. Well, I understand if you're a Kansas City fan, then so be it. Y'all the world champions. Y'all got room to talk. So I ain't got nothing to say bad about you at all. Y'all the world champions. There you go. But if I'm a Cowboy fan, what do I look like wearing a Kansas City Chiefs jersey for? What kind of sense do that make? If I'm a Cowboy fan, what I look like wearing a Green Bay Packers jersey for? What kind of sense do they make? I'm a Cowboy fan. Yeah, so that's what I supposed to wear if I'm a fan, I'm supposed to wear the jersey or t-shirt or hat of the team that I'm a fan of. You understand? I think it's natural, let me ask you this, Taylor Sparling. If you're a Kansas City fan, what in the world would you look like wearing a Cowboy jersey for? What, huh? See what I'm saying? It is what it is. I appreciate that, because that'll allow me to explain my wardrobe. I like that. All right, y'all. What else? What else happened while I was gone? I don't see nothing else. Matter of fact, y'all type it in real quick. Type it in what you want me to talk about. I told you that was my little spiel. I'm here for you guys today. It's Freestyle Saturday. Type in what you want me to talk about, and then I'll Oh yeah, Taylor. I've been a fan since 1977, so I don't know no other way. I would not change. I don't change teams every 4-5 years. If I ride with them, if they fall, I fall with them. If they win, I win with them. I'm in for the long haul. Been a fan since 77, so I'm here. I don't know nothing else. All right, let's talk. I'm waiting on you guys. Type it in. I got another topic in my head. There's a Taylor Sparling say, when do you think Dak is going to retire? Wow. Asking me that question about another 7 years, and then we'll talk about it. Because it's certainly not now, if that's what you're thinking. Now, he might retire from the Dallas Cowboys if they don't take care of him. He might be gone somewhere else. But as far as retiring from professional football, nah. You got a long way to go before that. He's only 30 years old. You forget that. Dak is not going to retire. Why would he retire? He's at the peak of his career. Steadily going up. His arrow is not going down. His arrow is going up. Every year, you keep adding to his resume. All pro last year. Second in MVP voting. I mean, I don't know why would he retire? Why? His arrow go up every year. And I already know what some of you saying. Well, his playoffs stay the same. He adds on the wrong column of the playoff. That's actually factual too. Last year was 2-4. This year is 2-0. I mean, going into the playoffs, 2-4, and then 2-5. So there you go. Taylor Sparling talking. Can we agree that Taylor Swift is ruining football? No, can't agree with you on that. The NFL definitely wouldn't agree with you on that, considering they had a stat that said because of Taylor Swift, and this is actual, that money, I mean, some kind of way they generated the stat that said that because of Taylor Swift showing up in the skybox and cameras going on her and all that, she generated $331 million. Just her showing up. When she comes through the security and they got the filming on her and she's on the way to the skybox to watch Kelsey play and all of that, she brought a whole new group to football. No, she might be ruining your viewing experience, but the NFL is saying, man, please show up again. If you generate $331 million, we need to get you. You need to get the home game. You need to travel with the Chiefs. So no, we can't agree. She ruined the football. What's up, everybody? I see everybody. Student of the game. How you doing, TV? Never seen you before. I don't think you've been with me before. Hey, for all you guys that that if I'm right about that, I hope you give me the honor of your subscription. Do that for me if you don't mind. And I answer your question. Student of the game says, do you think Izzy has a shot to see the field? No, man. The Cowboys, man, to me, student of the game, listen, man. I don't know if you're a man or a woman, so I'm just assuming you're a guy. But if you're a female, then I'm sorry. But listen, the Cowboys have a disease in the locker room that's been this way for a long time. I mean, really since Jerry's been there. Ever since Jimmy Johnson left, they've had a problem. That is the word loyalty. I've been saying this forever. The Cowboys are either loyal to a player or they're loyal to contracts. And what I mean by that is if you're getting paid, their automatic assumption is that you have to play, and it makes no difference who is behind the actual starter. Even if they're better than the starter, they're not going to play. Excuse me. And they're not going to play much. Jason Witten in his last few years, there were plenty of guys who were more of a threat than Jason Witten was. And even though Jason Witten seems to be open all the time, he really was not a threat. But Jason Witten had the power to say when he was coming in and coming out. That's just one example. Izzy is actually falling victim to being in a good secondary. It's going to be hard for him to be a corner. And even if he was to play, I mean, where is he? If he was corner, what is he? Fourth? Behind Diggs, behind Bland, behind Jordan Lewis. That's fourth right there. There's nowhere in the world, even though a lot of people want him to play safety. Okay, if he plays safety, where you going to play and win? Considering the fact you got Hooker, you got Donovan Wilson. We still trying to figure out how we're going to get Wanye Thomas on the field. That's a safety. So where does he fall even in the safety room? Fourth? See what I'm saying? So if you're fourth, if playing corner and fourth on that, then you only got one place you can play, which is special team. And he does that. So I don't say he'll get to shine in the preseason student of the game. He'll get a chance to shine in the preseason. Greg says they talk about Dak more than Mahomes with all his successes. That's because it's sales narratives. You know what I'm saying? It's clickbait. See, ESPN knows what they're doing. They can talk about Mahomes, but it's not sexy enough because the Dallas Cowboys kind of run. You know what I'm saying? You know they going to they open up with the Cowboys. The first game the first game that they'll talk about week one, like they always have, whether the Cowboys win or lose, sometimes they'll push it to the B block or C block. They'll do that. So, but when the Cowboys lose, and it could be, you just had a Sunday night game, and they wouldn't even talk about the Sunday night game, the prime time game. They'll start off with the Cowboys losing or winning in most cases, because that's what sells. And here you are with a great player like Mahomes, who is the top of the mountain right now. Doing things and trying to, in a hurry, get on that road to be considered probably one of the greatest to ever play. Can't even hardly talk about that. But if Dak sneezed too bad, too loud, it's front page news. Look, just for instance, look what it was when he look what it was when he had the boot on. When he had the boot on, everybody talked. I'm talking about the major networks now. When it came out that a couple days later he was out of the boot and he showed it, nobody ain't saying nothing. See, that it ain't sexy enough. It's not sexy enough to say, hey, Dak Prescott is out of the boot. It's not sexy enough. So you're not going to talk about that. But if you say he in the boot, oh my God, it's front page news. See what I'm saying? So when the Cowboys lose, instant clickbait. If they win, it's instant clickbait because most of the networks have lined themselves up with the haters of the Cowboys And they spend time on not giving the Cowboys any credit. Stephen A's, Shannon Sharp, LaShawn McCoy, Joy Taylor. These folks, they specialize in coming down on the Cowboys when they lose. And then when the Cowboys win, the first thing they want to say is, well, they ain't played nobody. They playing jabronis. Dak Prescott had, arguably it's not arguably, it's the facts. Second in MVP voting. Everybody else want to talk about, well, he 2-5 in the playoffs. Hey man, we just won the division. We just beat a team. We fought 6-3 or 6-2. Can we just talk about what he did in this game here? Oh no, we don't talk about 2-5. But if they lose, they want to talk about the game he just lost. See what I'm talking about? This is what they do. When the Cowboys win, the haters just like Eastside Harold in here. See what I'm saying? It's not over-exaggerating Eastside. It's the truth. Cowboys win. First thing y'all want to do is go, he 2-4 and 2-5 in the playoffs. You just regular season. But when he lose, now y'all want to talk about the game that he lost. See, that's not over-exaggerating. That's called facts. It's just the truth. Yeah. What's up, Chris? I see you, bro. Let me go back. Y'all running the show today, so y'all go ahead and just type in what y'all want me to talk about it real quick. And we'll keep going since I got away from you guys on Monday. I was on vacation. So I'll let y'all run the show today. I got my notes, but I done turned it over. I'll let y'all do it. Student of the game said, I was born a man, am a man, gonna die a man. Appreciate the perspective on front office politics over production. That's a good take. I hope Zimmer's looking at the best athletes to make a change. Unfortunately, student of the game, every coach that's been there that had some type of credibility, other than, I will say, Dan Quinn had the liberty to do what he thought was best. Mike McCarthy didn't. So I believe other than Quinn, everybody falls into that politics type stuff. We'll see with Zimmer. And keep in mind, student of the game, Zimmer's on a 1-year deal along with Mike McCarthy. If you want to keep your job, you got to walk the line mighty gingerly. You see what I'm saying? So in other words, you can't not do what the front office don't want you to do, because that'll put you in a position where you look like the bad guy and you might get on out of here anyway. So you're going to do everything to try to keep your job, including politics. See what Eastside did, y'all? See, this is what I'm talking about. He said it's because Dink and Dak chokes in the playoffs. 2-5 speak for itself. Last time I checked Eastside Harold, you had to win regular season games to even get to the playoffs. So what you guys like to do along with haters of the Cowboys is y'all want to try to minimize the regular season. But you can't do that because you got to have a regular season to get to the playoffs. If you have a bad regular season, you sitting at home a little early, and you can imagine what y'all be talking about then. See, that's where, just like we give credit to the regular season, we also those that you have to factor in the playoffs as well. That's what I've always done. 2-5 does speak for itself. It's not good. But your problem with that is, Eastside, is this, as you already should know. Did Dak Prescott give up 48 points last year in the playoffs? And please don't give me the pick 6, which did happen. There's only 6 points. What happened to the other 41? Oh, I know. Y'all gonna say he threw an interception. Okay, that wasn't a pick six, but he threw another pick. They scored off that. So I'll give you the 14 points. Okay, where the other 34 points come from? Cause see, the defense, a lot, they did have 48 points at the end of the third quarter. See, what y'all want to do is blame Dak for everything, which of course we know that's not true. And you want to blame that on them, but we already know it's a team game. You don't want to give that type of credit. So therefore, you really, again, is slowly but surely becoming dismissed in your process. Student of the game saying, what's the chance Zimmer bucked the politics to make the best of this defense for his 1-year contract? He ain't no spring chicken. Student of the game, I would do that. I would do that. But he better make it count. He better make it count. Eastside Harris says, talk about the lack of free agents the Cowboys have not picked up. Well, you can't get free agents, Eastside, because you got to make sure you got to make a decision on what you're going to do at your particular time as far as extension goes. You can't do contracts if you got plans on settling with Lamb, Dak, those two in particular. It don't make any sense to go out and go spend free agent money when you ain't took care of the plan. If that is your plan. I said if that is your plan. If it is your plan to do Dak and CD in the same year, you need to take care of them first, and then we'll see what we got left. Now, if you don't have plans of doing either one, then your question does make sense. Greg says the fourth round pick now is the most polarized player. Yeah, that's the truth. Don't let Dak Prescott win MVP or ring, then the media would hate that. Oh God, it would hate it because they would finally have to say what they don't want to say. I hate to do this because I told you I was doing. I saw the stuff while I was where I was. I saw the quarterback list of quarterbacks. I saw some that had Dak in the top 5. I heard players like Tyreek Hill say Dak was top 5, and then I saw the haters, of course. I saw Sean McCoy, do his obvious hate, and then get set out by James Jones. Y'all saw that, where James Jones just went out flat out told the truth. And he said that, the only thing, it was about Jalen Hurts and Dak. Y'all saw the video where James just said, look, it's only one thing that Jalen Hurts does better than Dak Prescott as a quarterback. That's run the football. That's it. So he don't throw better. He don't throw with anticipation better. He don't do nothing better individually than Dak Prescott does. Dak is a better thrower of the football. Dak is more accurate. And he just told the truth. He told the truth. If you ask me what Jalen Hurts is better than Dak in, I would say the same thing. He's better at Dak in the tush push. He's better at Dak at the read option. And that's only because Dak, I ain't gonna say only because, Dak really don't do a whole lot of read option. Of course, Jalen Hurts is going to have more rushing yards than Dak Prescott. That's not Dak's game. That's what he does better. He's not a better thrower of the football than Dak Prescott. He's not a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. And somebody going to say, well, he went to the Super Bowl. Man, Trent Dilfer went to the Super Bowl and won it. Nick Foles went to the Super Bowl and won it. Does that mean that they're better than half the quarterbacks in the league? No. Jalen Hurts had one good year. One. And let it, and isn't it amazing, y'all? Isn't it amazing how folks harp in on the Cowboys, whatever loss they have, whatever. I'm just start talking about Green Bay. I'm just talking about any loss. But you rarely hear many people talking about the collapse of the Philadelphia Eagles last year. It wasn't the Cowboys that really won the division with another 12-4 record. The only reason why we won the division last year was not that we were just so great. It was because Philadelphia was so bad. What did they lose? The last 7 out of 8, if I'm not mistaken? I mean, come on now. Where was the great Jalen Hurts then? See, nobody want to talk about that. All you want to hear is that Philadelphia done loaded up again. They got a great squad. They got a great team. I got a super chat here. Okay, I appreciate that, student of the game. Y'all know how the rules go whenever there's a super chat. I immediately stop what I'm doing and talk about it. The big time interaction is pretty cool. Appreciate the perspective. I got introduced to your channel from Boss Cowboy. Been listening and subscribed ever since. Appreciate you, and I appreciate my brother, Boss, of course, for pointing you my way. Appreciate that super chat, man. Thank you. And I got to bring Boss on here. Boss so busy, man. I got to get my brother back on here. Appreciate y'all for that. But y'all notice that's the reason why we won the division. I mean, we had to win to keep up pace, but Philadelphia had a collapse. You don't hear about that. You really don't. You really don't. I wonder why we ain't heard how horrible Jalen Hurts looked during those 7 or 8 games they lost. 7 out of 9 or 7 out of 8. Nobody ain't talked about that. Y'all know that? I'm trying to figure out what was the problem. Why we can't? Why haven't we heard that narrative? You know why. They want to talk about that. Student of the game again. Says you think they'll fire the DC mid-season of the defense is stopping the run and keeping people under 21. No, student of the game, I think that, to be honest with you, and I talked about this on a previous show, that when you look at the Cowboys' schedule, and I've highlighted the first 8 weeks, and that includes the bye week in it. I said that I mean, let's just play a little bit here. Let me pull up the schedule, because the Cowboys have a juggernaut to go through. And it won't be Zimmer. Let me look at this real quick. And I'll give you my opinion. Week 1 is at Cleveland. That's gonna be a monster game. Number 1 defense in the league last year. Deshaun is coming back. I think Chubb is gonna play. Cleveland was a good team last year. Coach of the year. All that. Week 2, they play in Dallas against the Saints. Saints are always tough, always have a good defense. Week 3, in Dallas, Baltimore comes to town. We already know Henry and Lamar, and that defense they have is going to be incredible. That's first 3 games rough. Then week 4 is at the Giants. Week 5 is at the Steelers. That's going to be an interesting game. Then come back to Dallas week 6, and that's in Dallas against Detroit. That's going to be a tough one. Then we got the bye week, and then week 8, we go to the San Francisco 49ers. This is what I've said about the first 8 weeks, and that includes the bye week. After that, now keep in mind the bye week is week 7. Then they play the 49ers. If the Cowboys get off to a slow start, Man, look, I wouldn't be surprised because, see, can you imagine the heat that Coach McCarthy will be getting? He ain't gonna have to wait till the end of the year. I believe that he's gonna get fired at the bye week. And keep in mind, it's a shakeup, but it's not as bad as you think because you already got your interim head coach on the staff already, and that's Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer would fall right in because he has head coaching experience. He'll fall right in. He'll still call defensive plays, and you can't fire the whole staff. It wouldn't be Zimmer. It'll be Mike McCarthy because Mike McCarthy is the one that kind of called his name out. That's what I believe. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys go, first 6 weeks, if they go 2-4. Can you imagine the Cowboys media and the national media that will be coming after Mike McCarthy at that time? It'll be crazy. And folks wouldn't be, Cowboy fans wouldn't be worried about, the tough schedule and all that kind of stuff. It'll be like, so y'all supposed to be that guy. Dak's supposed to be an MVP candidate, and CeeDee Lamb is supposed to be the guy, and Michael Parsons is supposed to be Superman. Why y'all 2-4? That's what everybody gonna be saying. They ain't gonna care nothing about we gonna have new offensive linemen. They don't care. They just gonna say, hey man, we don't want to hear that mess. Y'all 2-4 or 1-5. You know what I'm saying? That first 8 weeks is gonna be incredible, man. I mean, it's incredible. All right, let me move because I got a lot of comments here. Chris says, with as good as our offense has been, defense has been the problem because they're not stopping teams from scoring. That's the truth. Eastside says, if your organization doesn't believe in Dak, why should I believe in him? Technically speaking, Eastside, as usual, you're off because if they didn't believe in him, they would have let him walk right after the franchise tag. They signed him to a deal. He's still a Dallas Cowboy. They didn't believe in him. They would have let the first contract go out, which is coming up, and they wouldn't have done the franchise tag on him. They wanted him to hang around. It's obviously. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't have put the franchise tag on him. So, again, you're off as usual. Eastside says still no contract for CeeDee Lamb, Parsons, or Dak. We're not even going to call them insulted names with him. Well, stay tuned. That's all they I'm going to say, Eastside. Week 1 come around and we go to Cleveland and there's no contract for neither one of them, and we got another whole conversation. Until then, let's just get through training camp and let's see what happens. Chris says, if defense can't get stops, means we can't value nothing but touchdowns. True. Greg says Dak Prescott is 2-5 in the playoffs. Dak had one bad game out of 7. Well, they don't want to talk about that, Greg. I mean, because if you look at it, even if you look at his stats in the games that we lost, you'll be saying like, not bad. Pretty good, actually. Yeah. Shane says it's hard for me to be optimistic about this season. I'm looking forward to the next off season. I think we'll have a lot to talk about in January. I'm kind of leaning toward what we. I mean, let's just be realistic. You know, once again, these are things that nobody don't want to say. Number one, the Cowboys had the number one scoring offense in the league last year. Number one. I think 28, 29 points a game. That's over 17 game season. That's pretty good. I mean, it don't get no higher than number one. So let's dig deeper on that. It was the first year of Mike McCarthy's offense. Dak Prescott had his best year last year as a quarterback in the first year of offense that he was steadily learning. So let's go deeper, with a makeshift line. Had a lot of injuries last year on the line. Still was number one. Brandon Cooks, first year, he didn't come on until the end. Still had the number one offense, scoring offense in the league. You had no running game. That's what a lot of y'all say. We had no running game, and we still had the number one offense in the league, which is another whole story within itself, because if you had a makeshift line, if you didn't have a running game, and you had a number two receiver that, didn't come on to the end, you had a emerging tight end, without a doubt, in Ferguson, who came on. And then CD lost his mind last year. So what does that tell you? It must tell me that your quarterback got to be real good. You didn't have a running game. You had a makeshift line. You didn't have, you know what I'm saying? You really didn't have a number two receiver until later on. That tells me your quarterback is pretty good. That tells me that your quarterback pretty much carried this offense last year. Can't say it was CD Lamb, because who threw him the ball? See, no matter how folks want to turn away from it, the truth of the matter is, without Dak in his lineup last year, you're talking about a team that would have been drafting the top 5 last year. That's true. Chris said Boss, West, and Law, those guys really go hard. Me too, Chris. I just don't have time to do it as much as they do. I'm sorry, I got a super chat here. Terry, I'm sorry. I just not seen it. Get to your comment. He says, is our O-line going to be any good? That's the $1 million question right now. That's $1 million question, to be honest with you. I'm gonna throw a little monkey wrench in this. Not that I know anything, not that I have any inside information or anything, but I really do believe that Tyler Guyton is day one starter at left tackle. I believe it. But here's my monkey wrench here. Are we really sure that Cooper Beebe is going to be starting at center? Because, see, there's a whole lot of people like Brock Hoffman now. Just saying. Before the draft, everybody had Hoffman's penciled in as the starter. And we're excited about it. Shoot, Dallas Morning News was writing whole articles on it. So, I mean, that is the job. See, I believe the left tackle job is a done deal. I'm not so sure about BB. And I love BB. And I know what he did at Kansas State. I've seen the videos of him trucking people over and knocking them off their feet and all that. But, that's Kansas State. It's the NFL. I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying Is it a done deal that BB is there? I don't think it's a done deal. I really believe that it is a position battle that we need to be getting ready to look for. I really do. I think it is a position battle that we really need to be looking is at the center position, which means that I believe that BB, I know I said it before, I believe BB and Hoffman will be having a lot of work in the preseason games. Because you got to find out. That's the only way you're going to find out. I mean, you can do all what you can do in practice, but when the live bullets get thrown in the preseason game, that's when you're going to find out. I think that there's a position battle going on there. I really do. So to answer your question, is our O-line good? We know Zach Martin is good. I believe Terrence Steele is going to be Terrence Steele this year, coming off the ACL, of course. I believe he's going to be ready to play. Tyler Smith, we already know, a killer there. So we're going to be good. If Guyton is good, see what I'm saying? Because we just don't know. He's a rookie. And if it's Hoffman, we got some tape on Hoffman that shows that Hoffman is a pretty good player. We don't have nothing on BB yet. We don't have nothing but Kansas State. That's all we got. So if they do, let me show you, for instance, what I'm talking about, Terry. Ezekiel Elliott, getting 3 yards a carry, 3.0 or 3.1 yards a carry. See, that ain't gonna cut it. But what if this offensive line can get him to 3.8 yards a carry? That's almost 4 pop. Guess what? We gonna be all right then. If I can get Zeke's yard per carry up, then and that'll help Dak out too. But as long as he's only getting 3.1 and 2.9 and all that type of stuff, and that's because we couldn't forget guys open up holes. So I think that's interesting. So it remained to be seen, Terry, to answer your question. Shane says, what rookie are y'all looking forward to seeing this season? I'm gonna tell you, mine ain't a rookie, but it'll be just like a rookie because he didn't play last year, and that's Demarion Overshown. Explosive dude, knock your head off type guy. And even though he got hurt in the preseason last year, so technically speaking, he really is a rookie. That's what I want to see. Greg says the Cowboys' hardest games are at home, Ravens, Lions, the first 6 games, then the bye before the 49ers. Zimmer has defensive play against 49ers. That's true. I really ain't concerned about Zimmer because we got things in place. We got players in place defensively. The problem is when we play against guys like the Ravens and Detroit. But not Detroit because we scored well against Detroit. And the 49ers, to me, every time we play the 49ers, we just got bullied. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about from their defense against our offense. We just got bullied. And so that's where Mike McCarthy comes into play. So you can't avoid a bully. You got to meet a bully face to face. And I'm talking primarily from a play calling standpoint. And McCarthy is a finesse play caller. He's really not physical. He don't call plays that demand physical play. In other words, you don't run the ball. That's how you stop bullies. You got to go and hit them in the mouth. You can't have your offensive lineman backing up all the time in pass protection. Then talk about we need to be physical. That ain't how you be physical. So my question really is with him rather than the players. If you ain't calling the right plays to be that would encourage physical play, then you're wasting time. So that will remain to be seen too. And I know he's gonna throw the ball everywhere because, to be honest with y'all, that's our strength of our team. It's not the running game. It's not the offensive line as of right now. So where is the strength? The strength of your team is your quarterback and your wide receiver and your tight end. That's the strength of the offense right now. Sure, we got individual players that are dominant. Tyler Smith, but even Tyler Smith don't need to be backing up all the time. It don't make any sense. It don't make any sense. Eastside said not with two rookies starting all line. Well, that remains to be seen, Eastside. You don't know just like I don't know. And I appreciate Eastside. I know y'all want me to do him, but I ain't gonna do him because that's his only thing, and this is the only thing. He loves to come in and troll every Cowboy. Every show. That's what he like to do. That's all he like to do, and in hopes that I would open up this phone line because he think he'll star. And he want his little voice to be heard because he know I got a little following, so he want to be heard. You know what I'm saying? Ain't never talking about absolutely nothing. He just want to be heard. Student of the game, I'm liking your comments because you obviously are a football person. He said, "What's the best indicator you might see within the first 8 weeks that would tell you that we will improve on both sides of the ball and coaching?" Man, that's a whole show right by itself. Let's see here. We'll go with defense first. Mike Zimmer has always been known as a guy that improves on the run game or stopping the run. That's my indication. See, the Cowboys are going to be good in the secondary. We got too many good players there. So I think we were straight on that. And that's if injuries are good. If injuries are good, I mean, if we can avoid real serious injuries in the secondary, corners and safeties, we're going to be just fine there. Pass rush naturally is going to be there because we got too many good players to get the pass rush. Even though Zimmer ain't really a pass rushing type dude. He will call for blitzes, but it's not Dan Quinn type stuff where you just sitting in the house and all that type of stuff. It's just not that. Mike Zimmer kind of leans to me. And you can't argue with his success because he's had success. That his defense in Minnesota always top 10. That type of stuff. They knew what to do. And he's more leaning to me toward a bend but don't break defense. I'm not saying he's giving up a whole lot of yards and then keep team to field goals. But what I am saying is is that he's conservative / aggressive, rather than Quinn being aggressive / conservative. It's flipped. So my only thing is, how well would he do against the run? Cowboys ain't stopped the run in years. Offensively, as I said before, no matter what nobody want to say, Cowboys were the #1 offense in the league, scoring offense in the league last year. Top 5 offense. But #1 in scoring, which means they put points on the board. So the improvement would be how well we run the ball, since we're going to do it by committee. My question is, how's the running game going to work? Even though I don't believe that Mike McCarthy is going to be running the ball. I believe it's just going to be like it always is. Dak Prescott going to throw the ball 35, right at between 32, 36 times a game, and depending on what the score is, it'll be more than that. I believe CeeDee Lamb is going to, same thing from last year. I believe Jake Ferguson is going to emerge even better next year. He made the Pro Bowl last year. I wouldn't be surprised if I ain't say he was going to be an All-Pro. I say I just believe he gonna gain some votes to be an All-Pro. I have no doubt he'll make another Pro Bowl next year. So I think it's really dependent on the running game. It's all about running. Defensively, that's the improvement. Can we stop the run? Offensively, can we run? Now, we'll know within these first week student of the game where we are with both of those, because especially on stopping the run. First game, Cleveland. That's Nick Chubb, who supposedly is going to be ready, and then the backup there was awesome too. Saints, the next game, that's Kamara and the other guys. They going to run the ball. Third is Baltimore. We already know. Good Lord, Lamar and Derrick Henry. I mean, come on. That's crazy. I mean, we gonna find out real quick about our defense, stopping the run. Let me go back. Let me look at this again. The Giants. I don't know who they got since they lost Saquon, but I think it's Montgomery, I believe. No, I forget. The Steelers. That's Harris from the Steelers. The Detroit Lions, after that week 6, they got 2 running backs. That's Montgomery, and then Gibbs. They gonna run it. And then the 49ers, of course, in week 8 after the bye week, that's McCaffrey. So we gonna find out real quick if we can stop the run, because these are teams that's going to run the football. So that would tell me, and I'm not talking about a major league jump either. See, a lot of people talking about, we can't stop the run. Well, if you kind of like in the bottom tier, I ain't saying the bottom tier, but in the middle of, run defense, can you get to maybe, if you 18, can you get to 11? Can you get to 10 maybe? That's called success. I ain't expecting them to be #1 against the run in the league. I'm not expecting that, because I don't think we got the personnel that would demand that type stuff. So I don't think that's fair to put that type of pressure on Mike Zimmer. We don't have that type of personnel. So yeah. What's up, angry Cowboy fan? My brother in the building. What's going on? Yeah, I'm back. I appreciate you, man. Greg says, my theory is Cowboys will bring in another running back, either by trade or free agents, and will improve the running back room, which makes me think that McCarthy is going to run the ball, take pressure off the O-line. I don't see it, Greg. I don't see it. You just got to accept. This is just my opinion. I hope you're right, but it is what it is. He is who he is. He's a finesse, pass happy coordinator. That's what he is. That's what he is. We asking the guy to change his identity, and that really ain't that identity that we want off there. It's about balance. Let me ask you this question, y'all. No matter what y'all say about that, the truth of the matter is you don't want Dak throwing the ball 23, 25 times a game. You ain't scoring enough points, then. I'm about to say something crazy. I'm at the point where I almost want Dak throwing the ball. I want Dak throwing the ball 30 plus times. I don't want him throwing it 50. I don't want him throwing it 40. But I'll take him somewhere between 30 and 36, 37. I'll take that. Because he's earned the right. We talking about a guy who led the league in touchdown passes. You know what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. I want him throwing the ball. We're not going to get balance like that. We don't run the ball like that. We don't run the ball like that enough. We don't. Y'all know that. Y'all been watching the same games I have. Y'all know we don't run the ball like that. Shane says the one thing that I'm looking forward to is seeing how Cowboys respond to the new kickoff rules. Now, that's one thing that we have not talked about. None of the brothers have, not to an extent, but I think that's a thing that we need to really look at, because that is a weapon for us. The new kickoff return rules in particular, because what it does is going to put, when you kick the ball off, everything usually is a touchback. Well, the way they got it set up now is there are going to be opportunities for the returners to return. And in that case, that's a weapon for us, because that means Turpin and maybe even Deuce Vaughn at the same time, because you'll put one or two guys back there. Maybe this is the opportunity for them to get their hand on the ball and do some damage. We already know Turpin can do it. So anytime he touches the ball, there's a real good shot that he can go ahead and get things done. So that may be something we need to look forward to at another time. That's a good point, Shane. That's a weapon for us. Yeah. JV Boy says, can you rely on the other tight ends to help make your predictions happen? Let me read that again, JV. He says, can you rely on the other tight ends to help make your predictions happen? I believe you can, but once again, this is where the politics come to play, JV Boy. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Everybody before John Stevens got his knee hurt last year, another ACL, everybody was talking about how dangerous he is. Okay. Let's just assume he kills it, and just like he did, last year. Let's just assume that he's ready to go, and he's ready, and he looks the same, if not better. Now keep in mind he's coming off of ACL, so we just got to see. All right. Let's just say he does kill. Let's just say he's outperforming Spoonmaker. I'm just throwing his name out. Does because of loyalty to a draft pick and where you picked him, does that mean that he automatically is our number 2 tight end, even though Stevens is playing much better and looks like a real threat? Does it look like does he sit the bench? In other words, do you put your best players on the field? See what I'm saying? That's my question. That's my question. Are you gonna be loyal are you gonna be loyal to a player? Politics, in other words. Are you gonna be loyal to a player? Or are you gonna be loyal to a draft pick? Because we drafted him in the second round, that automatically means he got to play. Even though you know this dude behind him is better. That's always been one of the problems of the Cowboys. Didn't necessarily put the best players on the field. So, that's my question to that. Hey, Coach Marv in the building. Coach Marv is here. Discipline and commitment is the key for this defense to stop the run. We have the personnel to do it, but are we committed to doing it? I think Zimmer will be. I think Zimmer will be. I do. I think Zimmer will be. I don't know if we got the personnel, though. That's just my view. I saw Osi get ate up alive in the run game. Mozzie wasn't strong enough. I understand he's gained all his weight back. Scheme is another thing. So maybe the scheme will help as far as defensive coaching goes. I don't know. A lot of people like Justin Rogers, the 7th round pick from Auburn. I don't know. I got to see it. I don't know if we got it. I hope we do. Okay, JV said, let us assume that Stevens won't be ready just like MJ was. Stevens isn't ready. We're losing him and keeping Hendershot. Well, I think that I really don't have a problem with Hendershot. I don't. I like Hendershot. I like any type of weapon that you can give Dak. See, I'm one that believes that you need to load up Dak with as many weapons as you need to. And if whatever position is in, that's what I believe. I want him to get as many cards in the deck as he can. That's what I want. And Hendershot is a good receiving tight end. His blocking. Everybody can get even a little bit better than that, but he's a threat. And if we run a 2 tight end set, Hendershot can be a very valuable asset to this offense. I like that. So I want it. I want that. I want as many weapons as I can get there. What's up, Daryl? I see you. Exactly, Greg. Greg says Zimmer scheme helps out the front 7. I mean, he's a great defensive football coach. And his history shows that he can stop the run, and his defense always have been somewhat close, so that sometimes scheme makes up for talent. Sometimes scheme does make up for talent. So JV Boy says that Hendershot is willing to block, though. So you must say something before that. You said, Hendershot is a fumbler just like Dalton, blocking Schultz. Well, Schultz wasn't a great blocker, but Dalton Schultz was a problem for defensive coordinators because Dak found him. So he was a weapon. And keep in mind, Dalton Schultz was a part of many number one offenses with Kellen Moore. And the reason why I think that's a good point, everybody that's talking about this, because to be honest with you, when we start talking about running the football offensively, then I think that the 12 personnel, in other words, 2 tight ends, is going to be, or at least in my view, it should be a nice part of this offense because there's so many things you can do out of it. I mean, if this offensive line is going to be, pretty good, then having 2 tight ends there that can block or somewhat. I mean, Ferguson is pretty good. And I believe he's just going to get better. I believe all the tight ends are going to get better blocking, but when you add on those, you know what I'm saying? You can run the ball tremendously if you got that type of set. So I think that's major. Coach Price said, no, the commitment has to be with our players. I want to say this again, like I've said for 3 years. The problem with our run D has been poor linebacker play and poor defensive end play other than D-Law. Yep, I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree. Michael Parsons is not effective as in the run game. Too small, especially when he getting double teamed. You get blowed off the line. Truth. I don't have to be your last one student of the game. You're not stout enough like D-Law was. I agree with Coach Mars on that. Linebacker play really didn't. We had safeties at linebackers, and they were getting swallowed up easily. Too small. Too small. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Man, y'all got some good fire comments coming. Student of the game says last one big time. No more additions at D tackle and better and bigger linebackers. Can we get to top 10, 15 and stopping the run with additional help from Zimmer, assuming Diggs and Bland together are 90% back? We did get bigger at linebacker just from the standpoint that Marquise Bell won't be playing linebacker. Overshawn steps in. He's bigger, just as fast. Got that. My last show that I did before I took my little vacation, we were talking about the possibility of using Micah Parsons, as a chess piece, like a chess game, as a queen, and using him as linebacker at times. If that is the case, that's where he is special. Kendricks is a true linebacker. He's better than what we've had there. Now, Damone Clark, you only figured that the Clark would get better, even from last year. He wasn't that bad. But you figured another year, he's going to even get better. Another year, not a rookie anymore. Guess what? He gets to shine a little bit more than usual. So I think that's the case. I think we'd be much better linebacker this year, just based off what we've done. Just based off what we've done personnel-wise, I think right now we're much better than what we were last year. You got to keep in mind, we had non-linebackers playing linebacker. So, Bland is Bland. Diggs, of course, is Diggs. I pray to God Diggs is right. Because if he is, his defense going to be pretty good. JVB Boy says Ferguson is an outstanding blocker compared to Dalton, non-blocking Schultz, and Peyton Hendershot. I agree. Terry says we need a run-heavy scheme with a young O-line. Well, we pretty much got a young O-line, but y'all asking Terry, you asking for something that ain't really Mike McCarthy. And I refuse to believe it. Mike McCarthy is a finesse type guy, finesse play caller. Just this simple. Darryl Brownlee says Kendrick should help out our run defense without a doubt. Okay, quack. I appreciate that. Then let me pause for the calls. Hello, the likes ain't liking. Come on, people. All right. Yeah, I'm working pretty hard. I ain't got no notes and I'm flowing here. Everybody, if you're on YouTube, double tap your screen. Let me show y'all something for dog. You don't have to hit that hard button anymore. Just double tap your screen. Watch that. See that? Hit it. All right. Now, in order to get the likes that I need you to hit it. Yeah, in order for me to get 20 likes from you individually, I need you to double tap it 40 times. Now, that ain't going to take no time, y'all. That ain't going to take no time. Minimum 20 seconds. So everybody double tap it 40 times. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and hit that like button for me. Hit that like button for me. If you're on Facebook, hit that like button. All right. Hit that. That's the new feature for this. So this will help you out when you're watching all my brothers, West, Balls, and Law, and all the others, and Angry Cowboy Fan, all of these guys. From now on, hit that, just tap it twice on YouTube. Just tap it twice. You should see something. If you're on your phone, of course, you should see some little graphic come up with a thumbs up. Got it? Go ahead and hit it up for me. So everybody, come on, help your boy out. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and hit me up real quick. If you're on Facebook, hit me up. Just hit it once. You don't have to do a double tap. You just hit that like button. Everybody do it for me. Come on, help your boy out. Terry, you crazy. JVB Boy said, I don't want to see Overshown, Stevens Jr. and Diggs on the field until week 9. I want to see Overshown for sure. Because Overshown is a potential weapon on defense. That's another weapon. I want to see that. I want to see that. I want to see him. He's a playmaker. Stevens Jr., I want to see him in the preseason, see what he produces. You say you don't want to see Diggs on the field until week 9. I want to see Diggs before that, Doc. Look, who you gonna see at the other corner? What, Nashawn Wright? No, sir. I mean, if you're not gonna have Diggs on the field, tell me who you got. I want to see Diggs. If he ready to go, they say he ready to go, he ready to go. Everybody gonna be different. There's some guys that come back and are right on their knee after ACL. They are. But then there are some that struggle, like Michael Gallup and then Terrence Steele last year. Some people struggle. There have been some that come back and, ready to go for real. So we just have to see what Diggs is. Greg says Kendrick Addison would help the other linebackers in the scheme. Where's Addison at? Where is he? I don't know. Chevy Boy I always like and share your content big time. I wholeheartedly want to see Memphis succeed. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, I already know, Terry. I know exactly what you were saying when you said that. Yeah, I realized it. I realized it. So we just gotta see. I also remember there have been a couple of people who came back and looked like they never was hurt. I remember well Adrian Peterson coming off of ACL, and the very next year the sucker almost ran for 2,000 yards. I mean, and you know he was taking all type of shots in his leg. You know, and I understand Adrian Peterson is a different cut type guy, you know, a Superman type dude. I understand it. Different. I get it. But I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if, you know, everybody like that. So we just have to see. Yeah, that's cause they were forcing the issue. The Cowboys also, Terry says, the Cowboys also said Jalen Smith was ready. Yeah, he was. I mean, that they said that, and that's because the Cowboys had this other problem with putting people out too early. That's been proven as well. That's been proven as well. They have been. I mean, they put Steele out there to her. No, he wasn't right. They put Jalen Smith out there since you brought him up when he was not right. They definitely put Michael Gallup out there when he wasn't right. That is for sure. I mean, that's just three. I mean, that is. I mean, they put people out there. Once they doctors say they can play, you know, they can see that, you know, they put, you know, not that it was an ACL tear, but God Almighty, we all saw Ezekiel Elliott just going down. You know, they knew his knee wasn't right. They just kept putting him out there. No, he wasn't explosive. No, he wasn't. You know, he wasn't doing, you know, he just wasn't right. They kept letting him play. Still letting him have his knee to rest. So, you know, it's such a thing, you know, to get this warrior tag, all that type of stuff. It's just unbelievable. JV Boy says Kyler Murray, Terrence still had the same. During the same week, and Kyler came back 8 weeks later looking phenomenal. Terrence still struggled coming back. That's what I was saying. It's just different. Different people. Different people cut differently. It's just different. All right. Y'all on fire. See, y'all like y'all talk with some sense. See, I can deal with that. It's these cowboy haters who just be yapping their mouth. I ain't calling no names, but y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Know what it is. Yeah. Different side and different weight. Exactly. All right. Appreciate y'all. It's been I'm glad to be back. I'll be with you guys next time on Monday, 7 p.m. Monday at 7 p.m. I'll be with you guys, 7 p.m. Central Time. I'll be with you guys on Monday. And we'll continue to we'll get back on schedule and get with you. Yeah. No, I mean, at JVB, well, I was just saying, you got some type of guys that are different, cut differently. That's what I meant by Agent Peterson. I was just saying that he did, 1 year, then another person get the same injury, ACL, and Agent Peterson came back, looked like nothing ever happened. Rather than you get a Terrence Steele or Michael Gallup, and they are struggling. It's just different. You know what I'm saying? That's all my point was. Not comparing. I said that I know Agent Peterson is like a Superman. I already knew that. All right, I'll do this. Since I missed y'all on Monday, I'll go ahead and do this. Go ahead and get this fun out the way. All right. The line is officially open. Lord have mercy why I do that. Because, see, when I do that, this the time when wannabe stars try to show up. All right.
Call from Coach Marv. To accept.
All right, Coach Marv in the building. What's up?
Hey, Big Joe, I hope you had a great vacation, man.
Yes.
A great vacation, man. Yeah, man. Hope you got away from this heat a little bit. Try to stay out of it, man.
You already know.
This heat is killing us in South Carolina. But let's talk a little football this time. We've been talking about philosophies and thinking. We got to tie back into football. And want to clear some of what I see with the running game. I know I've been preaching on this running game, and I think what is happening is you got a lot of pundits out there that's throwing out the traditional things to say about the run game, to say that's the problem with the run game, and the traditional things are really not the Cowboys' problem, because when you look at it in a real sense, you can see that the traditional ways of why we have problems with the run game here and there and not every game is because of the fact of certain other things that we have problems with. I've been on this thing arguing for probably the last couple of years when people were talking about, oh man, we need this defensive tackle. And I have still said the point, and if you watch the game, even with the Green Bay game, nobody's just running the ball up the gut on us. Mm-hmm. They're running cutbacks because we're not feeling our line, and not just because of the linebackers, of the size of the linebackers that I was really disappointed in, because them shows that it wasn't that we getting killed physically by our small linebacker play. It was that false step, bad read, not even run fit. I think Zimmer said something about that early on when he was talking about minicamp, about getting correct fit in the run game, making sure our linebackers know where to feel and where to be at. Because that's very important, because if you watch the Green Bay game in the playoffs, I keep trying to tell people that the run game, what Jones got 20 carries for 118 yards, 21 carries. In a playoff game, in some aspects, you can live with that. And then when you talk about 120 some yards and he got one carry over 30 yards, well, you can live with that. But what you can't live with is a quarterback completing 16 passes for almost 300 yards.
Yep.
You can't live with that. So what happened was big plays has been a detriment to this defense all year. It's been more of a detriment than even the run game because we gave up probably in that Green Bay game about four to five plays over 35 yards.
Yep.
Right?
Some of them guys.
And now I want. There you go. But I want to tell somebody something when they talk about. I want to give you a stat, and I want everybody to go look it up. When they talk about Patrick Mahomes, everybody talking about how great Patrick Mahomes is, how he won a Super Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. Do you know that Kansas City, the Chiefs, gave up less than 5 plays this year, the whole entire year, over 30 yards?
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So when you have a defense that you have to drive the ball on, that do not give up what we call explosive plays, what it does is make the other offenses be perfect to drive. And then what you're doing is if you have to go 5-10 yards here and there, usually what an offense will do is have a penalty or they'll have a bad a misassignment and they get behind the 8 ball and then you can mess around and give them the punt. Yeah. But that is amazing for a team. This is why this team, that's why Kansas City can go 6 games this year that they didn't score a point in the second half.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying when I said about the Cowboys run defense. If you look at the run defense, and I challenge people to go out there and look at games. Even you can look at the Buffalo game. When D-Law lined up, they ran away from D-Law. Because of the fact they felt that every other defensive end and every other defensive lineman, right, were what we call pass happy. Exactly. Everybody wanted to have sacks because if you listen to our Cowboy Nation, the first thing we start talking about when we talk about defensive linemen, we go straight to the sack column and say, well, how many sacks he had? Because and what happened is these guys, when I was talking about the commitment gets away from the run game and it gets to about attacking the pass.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And this is where it doesn't have, you don't have to blow guys off the ball. You can play against their discipline. If you watch the game, I want people to go back and watch the game against Arizona. Everybody talk about Arizona killers so much with the run. If you watch the game, the quarterback had 70-some yards rushing in that game. One play, he got 46 yards on one play, and the receivers on end around had 73 yards on end around. That has nothing to do but discipline. Yeah. And this is what Zimmer is going to try to put into the team about the run game, to stop the run game. I've always coached my players this. When you stop the run game, it takes 11 guys to stop the run game. It's never no defensive tackles, and it takes a mentality to stop the run game. You got to want to stop the run game. Now, when people pass the ball on them, you may get some pressure on the passer. The quarterback may throw the ball erratic. You may get a tip of the ball. But when you talk about stopping the run game, you have to have a mentality that all of us are going to work together, and I got to trust that this guy going to be in his hole, and I'm going to be in mine. If I can't trust the other guy to be in his hole, and I try to play 2 or 3 positions, what's going to happen is we're going to get gouged. And it's going to look like all of us look bad, but it's going to look like because we weren't disciplined enough to stop the run game.
Yeah.
This is what I say about when I talk about discipline. Discipline and sacrifice. There's going to come a time where your defensive ends are going to have to sacrifice stats to make linebackers tackle. Yep. Look at our stats. We want to talk about this. We have not had a leading linebacker in the league elite in tackles since 2018. Because, and I'm not saying nothing bad about Quinn's defense. Quinn's defense predicated on defensive linemen making tackles in the run game. Now, what that does is a problem. Because when you start making defensive linemen think that I got to hold my gap responsibility as well as I got to make the tackle to stop the run game. What that do is then you start playing hero ball. And when you start jumping around blocks, when you start trying to avoid blocks to try to get in places to make a tackle, what you do is you leave your linebackers on the island and they're out to dry. Your safety's out to dry. And if they're not good safeties or they're not good linebackers and very instinctful to be able to get or attack downhill, you're going to make everybody look bad. I believe Zimmer is going to control that, and he's going to control about being more disciplined. He's been speaking about that. He's not saying we need to change the wheel in Dallas about the defense. The defense was still a top 10 defense when you look at the end of the ranking. And you have some games that had with this, man. If we want to talk about running game, right?
Yeah.
Big Show, you know that Green Bay ran for more yards on San Francisco the next week than they ran against us?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the reason why San Francisco kept in the game was they limited the big plays in the passing game, and they controlled the game. And when you start limiting the big plays, what you're going to end up doing is putting pressure on the offense to continue to function. And what the offense did, they start turning the ball over because they didn't allow them to get big plays. They kept them. So this is where I think this defense would get better. But it has never been our defensive tackle.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, Big Show. Give me the defensive tackle lineman that I have right now. Give me Parsons, Kendricks, and Overshawn, the linebacker. And I know and if they're instinctive and they're speed with Kendricks, I'll eat the run game up.
Yeah.
Because I have guys attacking the line of scrimmage. We have not had instinctive linebacker play that really wanted to go get tackles for loss.
Yeah.
Parsons at linebacker his first year had, I think, 11 tackles for loss.
That's huge.
You know, I hold all our linebackers this year together didn't have 11 tackles for loss.
Yeah.
So that means we don't have no instinctive linebackers. And listen, Overshawn in the games that he played in the preseason had 3 tackles for loss.
Yeah.
Just the games he played in the preseason.
Yeah. So
what I'm saying to you is this: if they're committed to stopping the run, this is all about, and it's not about. I'm sure the coaches are committed. It's the defensive players committed to doing what we call the dirty work of it, because stopping the pass and getting interceptions and getting sacked, that's exciting ball. That's what everybody says. Everybody's, oh man, you getting all these sacks. But you have to earn the right to be able to hunt the quarterback. Are you really ready to put the in a setting of a defensive setting? Are we going to be disciplined and in unison enough to say, all of 11 of us, we're going to shut the run, and then we'll worry about the pass later on. And we're going to squeeze you like an anaconda till we get you to a point where we make you feel that you can't run the ball, and then we can turn it up on the pass. But before we even turn it up, we're going to play gap integrity, we're going to play run defense first, and we'll be able to stop. Now, last point. When we talk about Parsons, we talk about getting hurt. Listen. If anybody go on to the, I remember Hankins had a podcast last year, right? Mm-hmm. And he had D-Law on there talking, right? And I know this for sure, right? But D-Law said it out of his mouth. If you go back and middle of the season, they said how much D-Law weighed. D-Law was playing defensive tackle, defensive end, around 245 pounds. Mm-hmm. Round by the same weight as Michael. So this thing about he on the end out there, that he's getting tired, he's getting worn out. He should have tight ends should never block it. And anytime you see a defensive end, tight end should never block him. If you watch film on D-Law, tight end scared blocking D-Law. Because every tight end you saw block him, he destroyed them.
Yeah.
And that's when I want Michael Parsons to get to the point. When you block me, you better have a big. Because if you put a little guy on me, a tight end running back, I'm going to destroy them.
Yep.
So this is where we get to the point, but that's where we're going to get to the point of, are we dedicated? Remember what my man said, or what a guy said, the Hooker said. He said about our run defense. He said, well, you're on the podcast and our run defense is not right. He's not talking about the players. Do we need more personnel? He's talking about, are we really committed as a unit totally to stopping the run? Or are we waiting on somebody else to stop the run so we can get to the pass rush?
Yeah.
See, that's the selfish part. Oh, well, y'all stop the run so I can get my sack. You can't think that way because what you do is you compromise the whole defense. And when you get one guy start thinking about that, you get two guys thinking like that. What you do is you compromise the defense, and now we just be guys to do their job and be committed to doing it. Now, we have the personnel. I think we got plenty enough personnel. You just got to have the mindset, are we committed to doing it, or are we committed to fighting football? We got the same problem on defense, Big Show, that we talked about offense. We got this mentality about we got to do it through the air. That's the coaching staff and our fan base, right? Mm-hmm. And our fan base got the same problem with defense. We feel that we can get interceptions and sacks. That's gonna prove it. Then on the back end, we say stop the run. But then when it hurts us, then we start crying about, oh man, we gotta stop the run. But all the time we clamor about getting to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Stop the run first, and it will take care of the pass defense. But we have to be committed to being physical football, and that starts in training camp. And if we don't run the ball in training camp or really work on our game in training camp or running the ball, how can we ask our defense that practices against a practice team that throws the ball all the time, how are we going to ask them to get into the game and be tough enough and disciplined enough to stop the run game? This falls back on your head coach of setting the mentality of how we play.
Well, let's see if we can do that, because until I see it, I don't believe in them yet. So,
well, yeah, you're right, Big Show, because we talking about Kellen Moore, but we ran the ball less attempts this past year than we ran the two previous years with Kellen Moore. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. I've said this. I came to the belief of this. It's not, and I want to say this, man. We got so many people out here that always want to talk about how well McCarthy has did with these offensive coordinators. We talk the outside media has given Kellen Moore two jobs. He can always find another job, and they talk about how great of an offensive coordinator he is. And Dak took him on as a rookie offensive coordinator. I would ask people this. I bet you people can't even tell me who's the offensive coordinator for Peyton Manning when they won the Super Bowl, when he was in Indianapolis. Because nobody talks about this, the offensive coordinator then. People don't. Byron Leftwich was the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when Brady didn't won. He's not even NFL now. But nobody talks about the offensive coordinator until it gets to Dak Prescott. Has anybody ever thought that the reason the offense is staying at 1, 2, or 3 in the NFL, and Dak Prescott got a rookie offensive coordinator to have one of the best offenses, and then McCarthy comes back and the offense stays at 1, is because Dak Prescott is making the offensive coordinator
look good. Yeah.
Thank you. So it makes no difference what the offensive coordinator you get there, he's still going to have a great offense. But when it comes to Dak, we talk about what the offensive coordinator does. When it comes to the other quarterbacks, we talk about how great the quarterback is.
Yep. Appreciate you, Coach.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, brother. All right, I cut off the line. Coach Mar gonna say it all. So I don't mind. But I had 2 calls that came in. I want to be fair with that. So if you call me, I'm gonna call you. All right, here we go. This probably won't take long. Lord Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Big time calling you back, sir. Introduce yourself to the crowd.
Oh, yeah. It's the Great East Side. How you doing?
Doing just fine. How you doing, sir?
I was listening to Coach Marv, and I would have to disagree with the brother. He was talking about your number one offense, bringing up those inflated stats. What I wanted to know, that number one great offense, greatest show on earth, greatest show on turf, what happens when they play San Francisco? What happens to that great offense when they play Green Bay? Do you mind elaborating on that, Mr. Big Time? Since you agree with Coach Marv all the time, you mind elaborating on that?
Yeah. I will elaborate on that. First of all, who said they was the greatest show on turf?
Man, I'm just listening to the show, sir. You know I tune in. When I want all my Dallas Cowboy news, you know I tune in to you.
Did Coach Marv say that they were the greatest show on turf?
Man, the number one offense. Y'all throw out the stats. Number one.
Were they number one?
On paper, yeah.
Well,
on paper, yes, sir. On paper, yes, sir.
Okay, so
on paper, yeah.
So who lied?
I ain't saying who lied. I just want to know where does that number one offense go to when they play San Francisco or Green Bay in a playoff game? Where does it magically disappear?
It disappeared because they got hit in the mouth.
Oh,
in my
who
view,
contributes to that? I mean,
the defense of the 49ers contributed to that. I done said it 300 million times. They got out-bullied. They got bullied.
Oh.
That's what I said.
Was Cooper Rush in there, or was that Dak Prescott?
It was Dak Prescott going against the number one defense.
Yeah. Well, I just want clarification, sir. Because I know when I come to the pastor, I need clarification.
Well, you got it. I told you they got bullied, but since you've been following the show, God knows how long now, you done heard me say that 300 million times. They got bullied. I changed it.
Yeah.
What else you want to know, Isaiah? Because as usual, you ain't talking about nothing, but I'm just letting you flow. Because you really wasting the time, right?
You know I come with the facts.
You ain't come with the facts.
The facts to just speak the truth.
You ain't spoken no truth, Isaiah. You said the greatest show on turf. Ain't nobody said that. We said they were number one offense in the league, and they were. They were.
I don't know. When it comes to the big game, man, I mean, you got to be the number one offense when it comes to the big game, not when you play the Giants. I just refuse to get that to you. I mean, on the Giants, you look like, you Peyton Manning back there. You play San Francisco, not so much.
Like I said, Eastside, you just a waste of time. You're trying to be a star. You're not a star, son. You're a waste.
This is just me spitting. This is how I speak, sir.
You're a waste of my line. To be honest with you, you really are. You're just a waste of my.
I know the truth hurts, sir.
And I know
the truth hurts, but I appreciate you because you are the one that got enough courage.
No.
You let a brother come in and speak the truth.
No.
A lot of these other places don't let you speak the truth.
No.
They want to be a delusional safe place.
No, you just want to be heard, Eastside. That's all. But that's all you want to do. You just want to be heard. That's all. I get it. but your hearing days is now over. Let me get to the next call because you ain't talking about nothing. Goodbye. Thank you, sir.
You have a great day, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Goodbye. I let them talk too long, y'all. Let me make one more call, and then I'm done. I've been on here. Everybody hit that like button for me. Double it up. You on YouTube? Double tap this screen for me. Facebook.
My God.
All right. Hey, JV, B-boy, what's going on?
What's good, brother?
What's up with you?
Look here, but
My home.
look
guy.
here, man. Yeah, absolutely. Listen to me, you know. But, man, I really want to focus on these players we have coming back from injury, and I really am standing on this hill. I don't want to see these guys coming back early, and we can sit up here and say good things about them and all that there, but unless they're completely healthy, I don't want to see them on the field.
Okay.
Because all we're going to do is just put ourselves in a deficit for a long time, because we could ruin their careers just like we did Michael Gallup.
I like what you're saying, but history shows that ain't what we do. We put them on the field.
I see. I'm with you on that. That's what history shows us.
Yeah.
We don't wait at all. If they paying them, they want to sit out there and put them on the field. And the thing is, we ain't even paying Stephen Jones Jr., and we know he got a tremendous talent.
Yeah.
But we're not going to allow him the chance to go ahead and heal up properly.
Yeah.
Overshawn is going to get pressure because he was the draft pick.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, JV, is this about Overshawn. I think we got to factor that in, is that Overshawn has had a little bit more time than what we giving credit for. And the reason I'm saying that, he got hurt in the preseason last year. So
and him and Stephen Jones got hurt in the same game, right?
And I'm saying, but he's had a whole year now, rather than Gallup, who came back, in months' time and wasn't nowhere near ready. But Overshawn has had over a year to get himself together, so he might be a little bit better than what we are thinking he's gonna be. That's all that I want to throw that in.
But for week one?
Yeah, because when week one gets here, I'm saying when week one gets here, we talking about September. He got hurt in the preseason.
Yes, in August, just a couple of weeks.
Yeah, just August. So by the time we get there, he'll have about a good year and a month. And let's be fair. I'm not saying he's gonna be 100%. Because with the old, what everybody says as far as athlete goes, is that it takes over a year for them to get back to probably being their regular selves, and that's if they haven't lost it. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Gallup. I don't think Michael Gallup will ever be the same.
That hurt me so bad.
Yeah, I just think his injury was so bad that, so he just can't recover from it 1,000%. Like other guys can. I just don't think, and I think him playing on it hurt him even more, to be honest with you. But that's where I think Overshawn would be a little bit different. He's had a little time, so I ain't saying he's gonna be 100%, but I am saying that he ain't gonna. I think he'd be a better position than Gallup. Let me say that. That's just my gut feeling. I may be wrong, but that's just what I'm thinking.
And I'm willing to work. I'm willing to go ahead and concede that. Yes, I believe that he is in a much better position than Michael Gallup. And you could talk me into wanting to see him on the field earlier than week 9. But I still don't want to ruin this young man's career before it really gets started. And that's the thing that I'm more concerned about, because I saw the talent, and I know we all saw the talent that he possessed. We saw the talent that Stevens Jr. possessed.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't think that the Joneses care that much about their talent. I think they look at them as commodity, and that's gonna hurt their careers moving forward. I mean, if they release them, I'll be mad.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be mad in the mud if they release them. But at least I would have the comfort in knowing, hey, they still got a chance to go ahead and get better. They could probably go to the UFL in the offseason in 2025 and then come back or whatever. Yeah. But I don't want them to do that. I don't think that I'm over here saying that they should do that. I'm saying because of the injury and the time frame that we're looking at. They may not look the same, especially this preseason when it comes to cut times and all that there. They may look bad, especially Stevens Jr. Yeah. And we may end up looking at Hendershot being back on this team again with Stanford and Ferguson. Yeah. And folks don't want that. They want Stevens Jr., Stanford, and Ferguson. Yeah. But because of that injury, don't be surprised if we end up with Stevens Jr. on the outside of the end because he ain't healthy. And I sure don't want to see Diggs coming back early at all. Yeah. We got an all-pro sitting right there. And if you bring him back early and he end up looking like Michael Gallup, man, bruh. Excuse me. Look here, I'm just being honest with you. You can act landlord, you can act any all them. I said this right here. If we would have drafted Brian Summers, I would have went out streaking out here on Germantown Road. Yeah, I told him that. But if we bring back Trayvon Diggs too early and that man right there, hey, you're right, and he end up messing up his career, I'm driving down there to Frisco.
Well, let's be honest. The same way I just said about Overshown. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Diggs get hurt in week 2? 3. Week 3, I'm sorry.
Yeah, right after week 2.
Yeah,
practice.
So now we talking about a guy who hadn't had a full year. And I know, and I just saw the video of him, looking all great and stuff. That's a video, but again, that's not even a full year. Too. Yeah, everybody look good against air. What happened when you got a plan? When you got to plan and twist and turn and all that type of stuff, so it's quite different. So, like I said before, I'm kind of skeptical, and nobody really knows where Diggs is gonna be at that particular time.
And I've been with you. I've been with you every single time that you spoke, because see, when you spoke about all-day Adrian Peterson, you doggone right. That man right there, like I said in the comments, he came a generation too late. Because all those guys, Ennis Smith, all those guys, Frank Shoes, those were battle proven. Yeah. Proven. You know what I'm saying? They can get up there and rub some mud on the injury and get right back out there on the field and perform top notch. Today's guys, no. Yeah. Not at all.
That's amazing. Man, I appreciate you, JV, man. Appreciate you, home guy.
Hey, I love your show. Hey, I'll holler at you later. Thank you for taking my call, man. You are amazing. And one more thing, Freestyle here.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right.
All right, I got one more to make. I'll be done. Now, I've been on here with 2 hours and 15 minutes. I guess I'm making up. Nobody else don't call me here. I ain't calling y'all.
Hello.
Big time show. Who is this?
Hey, this is James from Jersey. Mr. Golly, how you doing, sir?
How you doing, Jay?
All right. So how was your vacation?
I wish I was still there. I'm good. Good to be home.
Yeah, let me turn my TV down. Sorry about that. So I don't even know why you even give Houston, Texas Wieners time on your air.
Oh, man.
It's just a waste of time with this guy.
Yeah, he's just.
But listen,
Eastside just want to be heard.
Well, he getting a little 5 minutes of fame, I guess.
Yeah, he just want to be heard.
Yeah, I was thinking when Gallup got hurt, was that in the middle of the season?
It was, and he came back the next year, and he came back way too early.
Right.
A whole year would have been the middle of the next season.
Right.
But he didn't. He came back way earlier than that. Some guys can come back from ACLs, in 8 months. Some guys can come in 9 months, but then for some, depending on severity of the injury, it does take a whole year. And maybe, his injury should have took a year to make that comeback. So, that's I think that hurt him.
Yeah, because I was thinking with as far as Wilson getting injured, Gibbs getting injured. I was thinking like he got injured. What he said, the second or the third week.
Diggs.
Yeah, he got injured like the. So, I like I said, we really don't know the seriousness of the injury. They just telling that he had it. We don't know how it was popped or snapped or broke or whatever. And like you said, he had good time to actually get himself back in order. I mean, get himself back fixed.
You talking about? Diggs? You talking about Diggs?
Yeah,
right?
Diggs. Yeah, okay. To my Diggs. So to me, it's like I think he had a nice long resting for his leg or his ankle or whatever it was that popped. To me, I think he had more time to recover.
Well,
because
I'll say that it's almost a year. He got hurt in practice, so that was heading toward the third week.
Right.
So a whole year. I mean, it's well within the time frame. Like I say, some people can come back earlier than a whole year. So he's in that zone where he can come back. My only question is, and we won't know, unfortunately, until week 1 because he's not going to play in the preseason. He's not going, he is just like I said earlier in the show, we have a joint practice with the Rams. Well, he ain't going to play. He's not going to.
Oh, no.
He's not going to do that. So really his first real live bullet is going to be, week 1
in Cleveland.
Yeah. And we don't know, and I'm not speculating. I'm just saying I know because I've had an ACL injury, and I'm not comparing myself to him by no way. But I do know from the injury that when you come back, and I made it back in 9 months. But I will say this, when I made it back in 9 months, the activity and the intensity of the activity, when I came back, I was doing light jogging and, a couple sprints, and my knee was fine. But then when I started playing, I noticed my knee would swell up.
Wow.
See what I'm saying? So
okay.
I'm saying there's some other little stuff that comes along with it that we ain't gonna know until week 1.
Right.
And then like the video that we saw, I don't know if you saw it when he was doing all that. Well, you could bag up and do all that stuff on your reads, but it ain't no receiver running at you. And you got to cut. You got to cut and twist and you know what I'm saying? You got to cut and twist and run with them. And the question is going to be, okay, once you do that about 13, 14 times, 15 times a game, okay, how does your knee react to that?
Right,
and then we got to the real part, tackling. Like,
oh yeah, that's true.
You see what I'm saying?
Hit on it too.
Yeah,
you
get hit on it because they do reserve the right to block you. You know what I'm saying? And some people will cut you. So
twist you. Twist the wrong way. That's true.
Yeah. So the question is, how does it respond? And of course, the part that we're not figuring out in his defense is that, he getting day in and day out treatment. You see what I'm saying? He ain't like us. We got to go once or twice a week. You know what I'm saying? he live in the rehab room.
That's true.
So
That's
he's
true.
ahead way more than what we expecting is. But I'm just saying, sometimes you have to respond to that type of activity, and I don't think he's had that activity since he got hurt. So that remains to be seen. I hope you're right. I mean, I pray to God he's right.
Yeah.
But I know how that injury is. You know what I'm saying? That's what Gallup had problems with. You know what I'm saying?
I believe so. I believe definitely they rushed him back too early. But also, now I want to get back to the contract with Dak, CD. This is just me. This is just me. We all know Jerry Jones loves to be the center of attraction. We know that. Now, I'm going to go back to what he said when he said he's going all in. And some people don't understand. Going all in can mean anything. You could be at a poker game and say, I'm going all in to put all your chips in. Then I could turn around and say, I'm going all in, but you don't know when I'm going all in or how I'm going all in. I think making that statement, I believe CD's going to get signed. I believe Dak's going to get signed. I don't know about Mike. I don't know about Mike.
They don't have to do Parsons.
Right. Because he got another year. He got another year.
Yeah, we ain't worried about him yet.
But you never know, because if they probably try to pay him now, then they got to worry about paying him a big lump the next year.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
it's gonna happen.
Try to get him. Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Mike McCarthy is going to get fired this year. You said something earlier, and you're absolutely right when you talked about Ezekiel Elliott. If he averaged at least 3.8, close to 4 yards, it's going to be because of that offensive line.
Yeah.
And you're right. And if that happens, that's going to be a lot. I mean,
it's a big difference.
It's going to be a lot of. It is. I think it truly is going to be a huge difference. But I think Dak's going to get signed. I think somewhere Dak's not going to go 60. I think he might go a little less than that, just to put some extra money, maybe to some of the guys, because we don't really know. We don't really know exactly how his agent is working and Jerry Jones and all them talking. But like you said, he got a book full of money anyway.
Yeah.
But his thing is he's trying to get a championship. And what do you do when you try to get a championship? You want to at least keep your main players.
Well, you sacrifice.
Right. That's the word, right. You sacrifice. So you don't know what his agent talking to CD or whoever, because I heard CD and the other wide receiver have the same agent. The wide receiver that got signed, was it from Minnesota? Yeah, they both got the same agent. So I just think that it's going to, I think, honestly, that they both going to get signed. And as far as all in, I think Jerry's going to go all in with those guys by signing them either close to what they want or exactly the numbers. That's what I think Jerry means by all in. We looking at all in like, we want to get rid of this. And he's not doing... See, there's a difference between when you want to rebuild. He's not rebuilding. He's replacing. People start to realize that. He's replacing people. That's what he's doing. Yeah. And I truly believe. And one more thing, and I'm going to let you go, and this is going to be a far-fetched one. I watch ball because it's like 6, the offensive guy that don't play that much, like 6, 7, something like that. He's a big guy. I would transfer him over. I would change him over to play. The one second still is the nose tackle, or no?
Who are you talking about now?
Josh Ball for Dallas. The offensive. No. Listen, what I'm telling you. Listen to me. People may think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, I see he's slow, but he's a big, big dude. And when I see him, when he actually connects with those guys can't get off him. He's slow. He's definitely slow. But he's a lot stronger than people don't even realize. If you look at any of the films on him, when he's out there playing, watching, you'll see what I'm saying. They can't move this guy. They can't move him. Only time they move him because he's off balance. But if you look, I'm telling you, if you put him in there, host a nose tackle, when you ain't got to go and pay somebody big money and experiment on this guy for the first 2 or 3 games, I'm telling you, Big Show, I'm telling you, this guy is strong. People are not looking at this guy. Switch him from offense to defense and put him over there. People may think I'm crazy, but when you go back and you look at the film on this guy, you're going to see how strong this guy really is against some of them D tackles. And against some of the, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Whenever you get the chance, look at it, and you're going to see exactly what I'm saying, because you be willing to take a chance. He's always under, contract or whatever it is. Yeah. But
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you so much.
Yes, sir. And I enjoy listening to you guys, the three amigos, if that's what you want to call that time.
Yeah, appreciate you.
You all right, you be safe, though.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. All right. I answer you that question. The only thing that I would say this is the NFL, and my only pushback would be if you never had experience, it's hard for a player to switch all the way from offense. Something he's been playing probably his whole life, as far as he probably played a little defense in high school. But if you ain't played defense and you just switching in the NFL, you're going to get ate alive. It's more than just, big guys and being big. You got to know technique. You got to know leverage. You start talking about playing defensive tackle. You got to know leverage. You got to know technique. You got to know gap responsibility. You got to be able to take on 2 blocks. And I understand what James was saying, that he, can't be moved or whatever. But that remained to be seen, because we ain't never seen it, One thing I do know, he had a hard time moving people on the offensive side of the ball. So, I understand he's tall. That could present problems, putting his hands up. If he's 6'7", if he put his hands up, he'll be over 7 foot tall just standing there. That's a good weapon to have to knock balls down. But what happens when they try to go low on you? Accidentally, because they really can't cut block you no more. But what happens if you ain't used to shedding blocks or whatever like that? He's not. You're gonna be in trouble. You can't do that, in the league like that. That don't happen. That's almost kind of like saying Tim Tebow going from quarterback to tight end, like they tried to do, or go to fullback or something like that. It's the wrong league to be experimenting. Can't experiment. But I understand what he was saying about the size and how tall he is. I get that. Then, one last thing before I let y'all go. If you were to do that, the question now becomes, how much dog do we have in him? Because, you got to be a full dog to play defense. And I don't know. I don't know if that's really in him. Play defensive tackle, you got to get in that stance a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for a tall man like that to get down in a 3-point stance all the time. I know what you say. Well, he played offensive tackle. Well, you got to keep in mind, sometime on offensive tackle, they didn't get all the way down. They kind of stood up with it. Defensive tackle, you got to get down. And that does make a difference. So, I wouldn't want to do that. Here's my thing, James. If you got to do all that, just go draft one. Go draft a defense. Go to free agency and get one. If you got to do all that, we ain't got time to be experimenting. You got to go get one. Go get one if you got to do all that. You ain't got to be a $5 million player. If you're going to take a chance like that with experiment, just go get you a cheap one. That's the Cowboys way anyway. Go get a cheap one. Get a real defensive tackle. Somebody know how to play the position. You ain't got time to experiment. That's how you get your brain beat out. Easily. So, I wouldn't do that. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Been on here for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Unbelievable. This is the longest show I've ever done. But I'm glad to be back. Appreciate all of you guys hanging with me. I appreciate that for those that are still here. All right, I'll see you guys on Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time. We'll try it again. Try to come up with some more content. Y'all was fire because y'all executive produced the show today. Y'all were awesome today. Y'all kept me going. I appreciate y'all. I'm out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, y'all some good producers. I like that. I almost don't need notes dealing with y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm out. This has been the one and only, the big time show. Once I give him the music, well, I'm out. We'll see you on Monday.